Speaking of the Permian Basin, I'm going to go ahead and talk about our energy sector impacts that we're experiencing, and also how we're dealing with these issues, both with in-house maintenance as well as our RMC maintenance contracts. Okay, and this is a no-brainer. I mean, increased traffic and oversized and overweight loads lead to roadway damage. And this is pretty evident in the photos that I've shown here. That first one up there is a bridge impact that we have. We've seen a lot of those in the past. And I'm happy to say, though, they have declined a lot, like in the past year, I would say, and which is good. That's good. And other things we're seeing is like our isolated pavement failures, the edges of pavement raveling off, like in that picture right there, and then we have some more beam damage. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the impacts now. The first one's isolated pavement failures that we're seeing, and these are generally concentrated at intersections and at ramps, and they're just basically, I mean, they weren't designed for those type of loads that they're seeing, and so with the higher ADT and the higher percent truck traffic, it's damaging those roadways. And we're also seeing some of this in some of the stretches, like on our loops, like Loop 338, and then on our interstate also, that we're having to go back in and address with maintenance contracts, RMCs. Another thing is our pavement markings and pavement markers are fading and missing. Our pavement markings aren't lasting near as long as they used to. They did in the past. And another thing we're noticing is our the profile pavement markings. We're noticing those. We're thinking it's a combination of the heat and the heavy loads that are going over those. Those are flattening those out, and those aren't lasting as long as we're expecting either. So we're thinking about going more into milled rumble strips as opposed to the profile pavement markings is one of the things we're seeing. And last impact is pavement edge drop-offs, and we're noticing this in areas with high driveway densities. And the reason that happens is because you got a vehicle waiting to turn left, and then you got another vehicle going, and they get tired of waiting, you know, on a 2-lane facility, they get tired of waiting, so they'll go and pass on the shoulder. As they're doing that, you know, their tires are running on that front slope, the edge of pavement, and it's just eating it all up. So, and another area we're seeing pavement drop-offs are areas with heavy loads making wide turns, like we have water stations, so you got trucks in and out of that and then making the right turns to get back on the facility or coming from the facility. So those are getting out there and eating up our edges as well. Okay, this next slide illustrates the function code expenditures for fiscal year 2013. Just to give you all an idea of the cost, what we're doing in-house and what we're doing as far as contract. The first one over there to your left, is seal coat, and you can see that's predominantly contract work, and we do a little bit of in-house seal coat on that. The one next to that is lay-down machine level-up function, which is basically our mill and fill, and most of that's contracted. And the one next to that is 731 installation maintenance of small signs, and that's about half and half contract and in-house. And there's a lot of stuff that's just mostly in-house, is like the level up, debris removal, edge repairs, and so that kind of gives you an idea where we're at as far as in our district with our top function code expenditures. Okay, this next slide, I'm just going to discuss the maintenance contracts real briefly. The 3 big ones that we have is the seal coat. Of course, that's a district-wide one, and the fiscal year 2013 cost was about $4.4 million, and the 2014 was about $2.3 million. We also have a mill and inlay, and the 2013 cost on that is $1.7 million, and the 2014 is about $1 million, and then we also have some crack seal, and those were running about $300,000, $200,000 to $300,000. Okay, I'm going to go into a little bit about our mill and inlay RMC that we have. This is pretty basically simple contract. We just have mill and filling in there. We'll plane 2 to 3 inches, and then we'll prime it. If we encounter flex base, we'll prime it. If there's hot mix under there, we'll just tack it. And we'll come back in with a super pave mix, 3 inches on that. So this is the one we use for our isolated pavement failures. We use this contract a lot for our intersections. And we have used it on the interstate too as well, some stretches of the interstate and Loop 338. Okay, this is some of the in-house stuff that we do. This one right here, it's a blade patch. It was done by our Fort Stockton maintenance office. And that basically is just SS1H tack coat. Then we'll do a level up with LRA type D. And we'll either do a patch or a level up. And then we'll fog seal on top of it. And the reason why we fog seal is to help hold everything in. Okay, and seal coat, we also we do RMC and in-house seal coat. We predominantly use AC 25TR with a grade 4 pre-coat. And if we do in-house, we'll do a water base. And of course, RMCs, we'll do thermal striping on that. Okay, and when warranted, we also do a full depth repair in-house. That just basically consists of we'll mill, we'll bow mag, rework the base underneath, then we'll put some LRA or HMAC surface, seal coat, and water base stripe on top of that. Okay, we've also done edge repair, edge widening in-house. I believe this is a road widener, and we had just got that attachment in, so we hadn't had a chance to use it yet. But that picture down there underneath, that's a blade attachment. You put on the blade, and it'll cut the edge for you. So what we've done in the past is we use that, and we'll cut the edge. We'll work the subgrade and base if needed, and then we'll use LRA Type 1 grade AA black base. And before we had that attachment up there, that road widener, we just bladed it in, dumped the material on the side, then bladed it in, then just rolled it in. But we're looking forward to using that attachment that we have up there. It's got a little hopper, and right there where it says road widener, it can extend out, kind of like a laydown machine does, so it'll extend out and do that. So and after we do that, of course, we strip seal it, and then we do a water-based stripe on top of that. Okay, another thing we do in-house is we'll edge and fog seal. The fog seal has several different uses. We usually we'll fog seal a roadway, like if it looks real dry, right before we're going to seal coat it, we'll fog it to rejuvenate it. Now when we seal coat it, it's not as dry and it won't suck up all the asphalt when we're seal coating on top of it. Another application of the fog seal is after seal coat. Like when it starts getting cool and you see rock starting to ravel out on you, and we'll go out there and we'll fog that. And what I've used as far as rates on that, I've used 20% emulsion, 80% water. And that seems a little heavy, but I like using that because I think it gives us more asphalt out there, and I think it does a better job. And I mean, we haven't had any issues with it bleeding or anything like that, doing it that heavy. Another thing we do is we fog seal the edges, and we'll do that too because the edges get kind of brittle and prone to cracking. So if you fog seal it, it kind of rejuvenates it and keeps it soft a little bit and helps those from breaking off and cracking. Okay, another thing we do in-house and in RMC is a crack seal. We use a rental crack seal pot, and we use a Class B rubber crack seal compound, and we do this in-house and RMC as well. Okay, in conclusion, heavy truck traffic is evident from the oil and gas industry, and implementing various options to strengthen our pavement structure is, that's what we're trying to do, just keep it held together, and until we can get to it with a contract, until we can do a major rehab. So that's all I have. Thank y'all.